Today we are shifting in a much more comforting truth. Thank God. Most fears never come true. And there is a reason for that. Your mind, your energy, and your actions are constantly working for you, even when you don't realize it. Hi there, my name is Kelly. Welcome back. In the last video, we talked about why some fears actually manifest and how our mind, emotions, and actions can unintentionally give those fears power. In this part, we are going to break down exactly why so many fears dissolve on their own, how your brain protects you, and how your energy naturally redirect you towards safer, more aligned outcomes. Then we are going to take it even deeper into the spiritual side of all of this, the part that shows just how powerful you really are. So take a slow breath, ground yourself for a moment, and let's explore why most fears never materialize at all. Now let's start with the good news. A lot of our fears never actually become reality. Why? Because those bridges we just talked about, past videos, they never fully formed or something interrupted them. And here's how. First, you don't keep the fear activated. Sometimes you have a fearful thought, you feel the latest spike of worry, but then your logical brain steps in and says, okay, wait, that's probably not gonna happen. Or I'm safe, or I can handle this. Your hippocampus and prefrontal cortex basically command your amygdala. And research shows that when your logical brain gets involved, it dampens the fear response. Because you're not keeping your nervous system in high alert mode, the fear just loses steam. And then we go to our second reason. You don't really believe it. If you have a scary thought, but you don't actually believe it will come true, don't get emotionally invested in it, don't keep imagining it, then you're aligning your energy with it. It's like thinking, what if I trip tomorrow? Well, hopefully you don't do that. And then just shrugging and moving on with your day. What happens is that without emotional charge, it rarely becomes real because you're not actually living in that fear. And then we go to our third reason. Your action don't support the fear. That's exactly what we just talked about. You don't act in ways that would create that outcome. Actually, you do the opposite. You act resourcefully, which blocks the fear from manifesting. For example, you're worried about losing a client, but instead of freaking out, you keep reaching out to the client, delivering great work, and stay connected. And that behavior literally breaks down, interrupts the fear outcome. And then we have our next reason. You shift focus. In manifestation terms, you redirect your focus to what you do want instead of what you fear. And that energy shift changes everything. In psychology, there is this thing called coping appraisal. Basically, if someone sees a threat, but also believes they can handle it, a high self efficacy, they take adaptive action instead of just freaking out. So then, what is the key takeaway here? The takeaway is that fear doesn't manifest because you didn't give it the full feel it needed, emotionally, mentally, or even behaviorally. And maybe you stepped in with a better belief, better focus, and better action. Okay, let's talk about the spiritual side of this. Let's bring this into the manifestation perspective because this is where it gets really empowering. So, in manifestation, we say energy flows where your attention goes, right? Have you heard about it? Fear is powerful energy. If you keep focusing on what if I fail or what if I'm not good enough, you're literally feeding energy to that possible reality. But here's the beautiful thing, because manifestation is about vibration, belief, and alignment, you have the power to choose. You can shift from fear based possibilities into empowered action. So let's check two different paths or two different scenarios so we can have a better picture of this. Let's start with the worst case scenario or the path of fear manifesting. First, you imagine the fear in vivid detail. Then you feel the fear dread deeply in yourself. Then you believe it will happen. So by then you act like you're already in crisis. Have you thought about that? Then you carry tension and contractive energy, and you keep replaying the story in your mind. And guess what? Well, you probably give it the fuel for this to happen. But now let's go to the other path, the path of fear dissolving. First, you notice the fear and acknowledge it. Then you shift to, okay, I'm safe. I trust. I focus on what I do want. Then you act with faith. You breathe. You ground yourself. You stay open. Then you intervene with your higher self and intentional vibration and listen. Just because you had a fear thought doesn't mean you're doomed. As we've seen, most fears never manifest. The difference here is how you interact with that fear thought, how you feel about it, and what you do about it. I hope that makes sense. If not, just let me know. Just let me know in the comments what you think about this. But as you can see, the fact that most fears never happen isn't one accident. It's actually a sign of your inner strength, your resilience, and your natural energetic alignment. In other words, your brain steps in, your belief steps in, your behavior steps in, and finally, your spirit, your higher self, steps in too. In the moment you shift your focus, your energy, your perspective, you interrupt, you break the fear trajectory, the cycle, and you open the door to possibility instead of panic. And that right there, my friends, is real power. But as you can see, understanding why fears don't manifest is only a part of the transformation. In the next and final video of this short series, we are going to talk about the practical steps, the tools, techniques, and mindset shifts you can use to stop feeding fear-based thoughts and to neutralize them before they ever gain momentum. So if you're ready to take back your power, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and have the notification on so you know when I upload the next and final one, well, or even the next videos. But This is what I have for you today. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.